We're looking at part 2 now, the tutorial for Me and You by George Ezra. I'm going to take you through the suggested picking pattern. We're going to show you the chord shapes, different voicings, how to play A for example, how to do the F sharp minor, and just get the song working for you. It's a really cool song. It's a nice one to do to add to your repertoire. So let's get going by focusing on the fretting hand. First of all, capo must be on fret 2. No capo, song won't work. Okay, so please make sure capo is on. That means that's your new fret 1, new fret 2, new fret 3, and so on, just for those that are new to capos. Now, A normally looks like that. I'm sure you probably know A already, otherwise you wouldn't be doing this song. Fingers 1, 2, and 3 in a row in the second fret. And if you like, you may swap fingers 1 and 2 around. So I take my middle finger up a string and my first finger down a string, because that gives me a little bit more space. That's just a personal preference, because I've got fat fingers, so they tend to want to squeeze over like that. So either way, this or that, whatever works for you, that's cool. D, I'm sure you know D, and E is also quite a popular chord. Just a quick overview on how the chords look. The possible new chord is F sharp minor. Now that starts with finger 1, flat in the second fret, from the third string down, and the ring finger on string 4, fret 4. Now be careful he doesn't do that, because if he does that, it's going to sound like that, and as you heard, that doesn't sound cool. We want it to sound like this. You can hear it's much clearer. Works quite nicely now. So just make sure, nice bend, that's good. Watch out for that. Okay. We're now going to shift our attention to our picking hand, and we're going to look at the basic picking techniques. Just zoom in nice and close there. You can see the picking hand resting on the guitar. And what I'm doing is fingers 2, 3, and 4, middle finger onwards to pinky, is resting on the guitar, so my hand can't drift. If my hand's in the air, it's very easy for my hand to drift like that. So holding onto the guitar just gives it a solid point of reference. It's in position. Now at the bottom it says A picking. It's the tab part at the bottom of your PDF file, which I hope you got printed out. It's going to sound like this slow motion. And watch the finger movement. And you'll notice it starts with one note, 2 notes, 2 notes, 2 notes, 1 note. That's part of the swing rhythm. It's got almost what they call a triplet swing feel to it. So if I had to tap the rhythm, it would sound like that. If it was a straight rhythm, it would sound like that. We want the swing. So keep the rhythm in mind. And I want you to pick sort of quite loud, because if you pick too quietly, we sometimes tend to lose the rhythm. So don't hold back. To get a nice, clear, strong rhythm. Now on the sequence for the A, you'll notice there's a red 0 opposite string 5, or on string 5. It's that note my thumb is picking there. And on the chord diagram A, you'll also see it's got an orange red dot. That's the bass note for the chord A. We start with it with a thumb, and then finger 1 kicks in to string 2, string 3. Nice and quick like that. So the first 3 notes. Notice a little pause there. Now for the next one, we're going to bring the thumb down from the 5th to the 4th string, and we're doing that. It's the 4th string and the 1st string, and then putting them together, it's going to sound like this. You can hear that paused rhythm, that swing feel. And then after that, back to, sorry, that was like that. And then we end off on the 2nd string again. So one more time the whole way through slowly. And if you want to do, instead of, for the last 3 notes, that's also acceptable. Okay, one last time through, maybe you can play with me, and let's try it twice in a row, just to get the feel of A when it comes to repetition. 2 and 3 and 4 and... bit faster, 2 and 3 and 4 and this sounds pretty cool. Now, if you want to apply this to the song, you'll see verse 1 where he sings, "You might set sail across the sea." That's 4 A's in a row. And then he goes to D, which is going to sound like this. And you'll notice the only difference there is that red 0 has shifted from the 5th string for the A to the 4th string for D. And also on the diagram for the chord, you'll notice that orange dot is also shifted now across strings as well. So D is going to sound like this. Same finger notation, still playing nice and strong, nice and loud, still securing the bottom there. Just that thumb has moved from the A to the D. Now I'm going to play A once and D once just so you can hear the differences. Nice and slow, 2 and 3 and 4 and that sounds pretty sweet. Now if you were to play the entire verse, you need 4 A's, 1 D, 1 A, 1 D, 1 A, and mathematically you'll notice that music likes working in groups of 4s. So your first line, 4 A's. Second line, 1 D, 1 A, 1 D, 1 A, 4 chords, working out to balance of 4 again. So we're going to sound something like this. Want to play along with? First verse, let's go. 2 and 3 and 4 and... It's as simple as that. Now I'm going to zoom out a little bit there so we can try and get both picking and fretting hand to context for the chorus. And it's going to sound something like this for the chorus. Now we mentioned about the verse groups of 4. Your chorus is going to have 1 E, 1 D, 2 A's, and that's adds up to 4. Simple as that. Now your bass note for the E is normally the 6th string. But for this song, it sounds nicer to go from the 4th string, which is also a bass note, and it carries across much better. So we're going to use the 4th string now for the E's bass note and not the 6th, because that's going to lead really nice to D. Where if I did it the other way, the transition from the low to the high is a bit too much. So this is much more sort of melodic. And A sounds pretty much like that. Now 1 E, 1 D, 2 A's, you and I together nice and slow. 2 and 3 and 4 and repeat. Nice and easy like that. Now for the post-chorus, I noticed on the PDF files that I was busy studying and researching that they're post-chorus, not bridge, basically because it's the ending part of the chorus. Why they didn't just call it one chorus overall, but besides the point. Here comes that F sharp minor we're talking about, and it's going to look and sound like this. Remember we said about him, so we don't get this nice and bent ring finger. Really as straightforward as that. So if we sort of summarize the song, it's basically one picking pattern, which is going to be this now without any chord at all, just to go through the pattern again. We got that picking pattern, and then we simply add chords. And that's basically how the song works. Now with the F sharp minor D, if you want to be fancy, you can do this, and I'm going to focus more onto the fretting hand just for a quick one. Check this out. In slow motion from a top view. And we're using a passing note there from the F sharp. Here's the F sharp minor. Passing note into D. sounds cool. It's not actually on the original, but I just thought I'd share that with you. And again, on the multiple of 4, F sharp, D, F sharp minor, D, 4 of them in a row, 4 bars. Second line, F sharp minor, D, 2 bars of E, 4 bars. So it really adds up nice and mathematical. If there's any questions with this song, please drop me a WhatsApp. It'd be nice to hear from you. Hope you enjoy it. Good luck with the F sharp for that. Don't want that, remember that. Okay. And otherwise, just enjoy the song. It's a nice finger picking pattern. And if you decide you want to use your full hand like this, I don't have an issue with this as well. You can see I'm using all the fingers. One more time at a different angle. But I think because the pattern is so basic, it just feels easier and more rhythmic to keep it like this. And there we go. Enjoy the song. Have an awesome week. Thank you.